You're in fifth week. You're almost halfway through the program. We see that most of you are following our schedules. That's wonderful. I'm sure you're feeling changes in terms of maybe feeling more lighter, more energetic because of all the changes that you've made the past few weeks. Dietary advice for the week. A Jain monk broke a 423-day fast in November of 2015 in the city of Mumbai in India. That's almost 14 months without food. He survived with just boiled water. Fasting is an ancient practice and has been an integral part of all the religions. While the duration of fasting may differ, most of us fast from the time you sleep at night till you have your breakfast. You've already been fasting for almost 14 hours. This week, we'll expect you to extend it to 16 hours. So if you have your dinner at say 6 p.m. the previous day, have your smoothie the next morning at 10 a.m. That's it. You've done a 16-hour fast. It's fairly easy, as you'll be spending most of your fasting hours sleeping. Start the day with a glass of water. That keeps you full for some time. All fasts have similar goals of showing sacrifice, exercising willpower to resist temptations, and cleansing oneself. It's said that the body gets to slow down on the process of digestion and assimilation while you fast. But why intermittent fasting? You may remember from our previous videos where we mentioned about excess insulin production being the cause for weight gain. Constant eating causes the release of insulin from the pancreas, and insulin works towards conservation of energy and building up the glucose and converting it to fat. When you don't eat for an extended period of time, your insulin release comes under control, and that helps in weight loss. But as the levels of glucose go low, a bunch of other hormones, growth hormone, cortisol, and noradrenaline are released. So growth hormone plays a major role in normal development of children, but it also plays a role in adults. Growth hormone is responsible for proper distribution of fat and maintaining a good muscle mass and bone mass. So by fasting, you're increasing the release of growth hormone and thus actually increasing your muscle mass and bone mass. Of course, this happens only if you eat healthy during the eating period. So one can start from eating solid 3 meals a day without snacking in between. First meal or food should be 4 hours after you wake up, and the last meal should be at least 4 hours before you go to bed, maintaining that 8-hour eating window. This week we're going to try eating salads every day for brunch and dinner, but we'll skip rice, bread in one meal every alternate day. What about physical activity? Hope you're doing the nitric oxide dump since last week. NO dump workout falls into the category of high intensity interval training routine known as HIIT. This routine targets all the 16 major muscle groups and equals full body workout in a minimal time. This week we'll be adding another form of exercise, the anti-gravity exercises, which involves walking up and down the steps at least 50 steps at a time 3 to 4 times a day, preferably 1 hour after meals. Anti-gravity exercises result in drop in sugar levels by 30 to 40 points, as this exercise opens up the glucose gates of the cells and moves the glucose into the cells, and thus preventing it from accumulating in the blood and then getting converted to fat. Onset of sleep is a passive process that results from the withdrawal of sensory input. Think about your night routine. You go into the bedroom, darken the room, you want to have it quiet and dark and the temperature even, and so forth. In that way, without the input from sensory stimuli coming from the external world, you can sleep and drift into dreams. An interesting point about dreams. Prefrontal cortex, the front part of your brain, is a very important part of the brain for decision making, judgment, and executive function. That area of the brain is completely deactivated during sleep. So essentially, the area of the brain that's responsible for making judgments and decisions is basically non functional during sleep. Have you noticed how sometimes you make some really bad decisions in your dreams and you would never, ever do when you are awake? Well, now you know the reason. Sleep well and happy dreams.